हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू लर्न गुरु क्लासेस। आज हम लोग एक्सरसाइज 2B का रेस्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 सॉल्व करने वाले हैं। तो ऑलरेडी फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस का वीडियो है इस चैनल में, प्लीज़ वॉच द वीडियो. So after watching this video, as usual, your concepts about this topic will be very clear. So with this note, let's begin our seventh question is a body at rest is made to fall from the top of a tower. Its displacement at different instants is given in the following table. So draw a displacement time graph and state whether the motion is uniform or non-uniform. यहाँ से जो टेबल में जो वैल्यूज़ है वो यूज़ करके हम लोगों को डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ ड्रॉ करना है. तो यूजिंग दिस वैल्यूज़ we plot the points and we obtain the displacement time graph is this. So the nature of the displacement time graph is a curve, right? So since it is a curve, so from here we can say the motion is non-uniform. The figure shows the velocity time graph for the motion of a body. Use it to find the displacement of the body at t equal to 1 second, 2 second, 3 second and 4 second and then draw the displacement time graph for it. तो basically यहाँ पे velocity time graph दिया हुआ है ऐसा. Okay, so from velocity time graph you have to find out the displacement at different time frames as 1 second, 2 second, 3 second and 4 second and from there you have to draw the displacement time graph. ठीक है, तो ये वाला है. हम लोगों ने already we know that displacement equal to area enclosed by the graph. हम लोगों ने points कुछ plot किया है. For 1 second, suppose this is the triangle. For 2 second OBQ is the triangle. For 3 second OCR is the triangle and for 4 second ODS is the triangle. Okay, so if we find out the area of all these triangles, then we can find out the displacement. So at t equal to 1 second, area of triangle OAP is equal to half into base into altitude. ठीक है, तो base है OP and altitude is AP. So using the values you get as 0.5 meter as the displacement at t equal to 1 second. At t equal to 2 second, area of triangle OBQ, okay, half into OQ into BQ and this comes as 2 meter. At t equal to 3 second, area of triangle OCR, so this comes as 4.5 meter and for t equal to 4 second, area of triangle ODS, so this comes as 8 meter. ठीक है, तो हम लोगों को पूरा t इक्वल टू 1 सेकेंड से लेके 4 सेकेंड तक डिस्प्लेसमेंट का सारे वैल्यूज मिल गया है. सो यूजिंग दिस वैल्यूज इफ वी प्लॉट द पॉइंट्स, okay, so we get the graph as this. ठीक है, so from this we can say that displacement time graph is a curve over here. Question number 9 is the figure shows a velocity time graph for a car starting from rest. The graph is 3 parts A, B, B, C and C, D. So you are to state how is the distance traveled in any part determined from the graph. Second is compare the distance traveled in part BC with the distance traveled in part AB. Third is which part of graph shows motion with uniform velocity, acceleration, retardation, and the fourth is the magnitude of acceleration higher or lower than retardation, give a reason. So first is state how is the distance traveled in any part determined from the graph. So we know that distance traveled is equal to the area enclosed by the graph. So if we find out the area of this particular region, we can find out the area enclosed by the graph. Second is compare the distance traveled in part BC with the distance traveled in part AB. ठीक है, तो distance traveled in part BC is this area enclosed by the graph. So distance traveled in part BC equal to area of the square enclosed, which is length into breadth is the area of the square. So V naught into T 2T minus T equal to V naught T will give us the distance travelled in part BC. Next is distance travelled in part AB is the area enclosed by this triangle. So half into base into height will give us the area. So half V naught is the height and base is T. Okay. So compare the distance travelled in part BC with distance travelled in part AB is simply the ratio, which is equal to 2:1. Just put the value of distance travelled in BC, that is V naught T, and for AB half V naught T. So we get the answer as 2:1. Third is, which part of graph shows motion with uniform velocity, acceleration and retardation. So part AB shows uniform acceleration because of positive slope, Q because uniform acceleration as it is a straight line, okay, and it is increasing with time, so thus it indicates positive slope. Part CD shows uniform retardation because of negative slope, uniform क्योंकि straight line है, retardation means with increasing time velocity drops to 0 and thus it is a negative slope, right? And for uniform velocity part BC, since BC is parallel to the time axis and thus it has 0 slope, okay. The fourth part is the magnitude of acceleration higher or lower than retardation? So if we slope AB, if we find out, acceleration is found out by the slope of the line, right? So slope is vertical height by horizontal distance. So for this, vertical height is V naught and horizontal distance is T. So we get the acceleration as V naught by T. Slope CD, that is this value, okay. So see here, final value is 0 and initial value is V naught. So 0 minus V naught and final value is 2.5 T minus 2 T minus V naught by 0.5 T. Now if we just neglect the negative sign and just look only at the magnitude of acceleration and retardation, we see that the magnitude of retardation is higher than that of acceleration, right? So magnitude of acceleration is lower, that is retardation is higher, is lower than retardation because slope AB is less than slope CD. Now if we compare the acceleration with retardation, we find out the ratio as 1:2. Question number 10 is, the velocity time graph of a moving body is given below. So this is the graph. Find the acceleration in parts AB, BC and CD. Second is displacement in each part AB, BC, CD, and third is the total displacement. So first part है, find the acceleration in parts AB, BC and CD. Acceleration कैसे निकालते हैं ग्राफ से? By finding out the slope of the line. ठीक है, तो ये AB एक लाइन है, इसका स्लोप निकालना है, BC का स्लोप निकालना है एंड CD का स्लोप निकालना है, ठीक है। तो AB एक इंक्लिनेशन पे है, सो वर्टिकल हाइट बाय हॉरिजॉन्टल डिस्टेंस इज द एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ पार्ट AB। तो देखो वर्टिकल हाइट कहाँ पे है, 30 पे है एंड हॉरिजॉन्टल डिस्टेंस 0 to 4, राइट। तो horizontal distance is 4. 30 by 4 gives us 7.5 meter per second square. Acceleration in part BC होगा 0 obviously, क्योंकि BC का कुछ inclination है ही नहीं, slope होगा 0, so acceleration is 0. Next is acceleration in part CD. तो acceleration in part CD is this part. acceleration नहीं, इसको retardation, क्योंकि ये क्या हो रहा है, velocity decrease हो रहा है and it comes to 0, right? तो acceleration in part CD होगा vertical height देखो 30 और 0, तो initial है 30, final है 0, तो 0 minus 30 is the vertical height and horizontal distance देखो 30 किस टाइम फ्रेम में था, 8 पे था, m0 10 पे आया है, तो 10 minus 8 is the horizontal distance, and thus we get the acceleration as minus 15 meter per second square. ठीक है. अब second part, displacement in each part A, B, B, C and C, D. तो displacement कैसे निकालते हैं velocity time graph से? We find out the area enclosed by the graph. So we know that this entire graph is divided into 3 segments. This is the triangle, this is the square, and this is another triangle. So this triangle, displacement in part AB is the area of this triangle. So half into base into height. So half, then base is 4 and height is 30. So this gives us 60 meter. Okay. Displacement in BC. Displacement in BC, 30 is the vertical height, and BC and the breadth is 8 minus 4. So this will give me 120 meter. And displacement in CD is what? Displacement in CD half into 30 into 10 minus 8, क्योंकि ये वाला इतना है इसका base. तो 30 meter is the displacement in part CD. Okay. तो थर्ड वाला पार्ट टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगा सम ऑफ ऑल दिस displacement in part AB plus displacement in part BC and displacement in part CD. So the total gives us 210 meter. Question number 11 is, a ball moves on a smooth floor in a straight line with a uniform velocity of 10 meter per second for 6 seconds. At t equal to 6 seconds, the ball hits a wall and comes back along the same line to the starting point with same speed. So draw the velocity time graph and use it to find out the total distance travelled by the ball and its displacement. ठीक है, तो ये क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छे से समझने का है and accordingly we will try to visualize the question, okay, and understand it. तो फर्स्ट केस है, एक बॉल है, तो बॉल is moving at a uniform velocity of 10 meter per second for 6 seconds. At exactly 6 seconds, it hits the wall. ठीक है, तो जब ये बॉल वॉल पे हिट करेगा ये बॉल, then it will come to rest, right? Then again from rest, what happens? The ball comes back to the starting point with the same speed. मतलब क्या है, बॉल ने वॉल पे हिट किया है, राइट, हिट किया है, फिर क्या हुआ है, फिर वापस वो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे आ गया है, मीन्स इट हैज रिवर्स्ड द डायरेक्शन. एंड हियर when it has reversed the direction, when it is coming to the starting point, it is traveling with the same uniform velocity of 10 meter per second for another 6 seconds. मतलब total time लगा है 12 सेकेंड. तो देखो कैसे हम लोग ग्राफ पे इसको एनालाइज कर सकते हैं. 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड पे चल रहा है, मीन्स यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी, सो दिस विल बी अ लाइन दैट इज पैरेलल टू द टाइम एक्सिस. ठीक है, सो एट एग्जैक्टली 6 सेकेंड इट हिट्स द वॉल. ठीक है, कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग टू 6 सेकेंड इट हिट्स द वॉल. तो जब ये वॉल पे हीट करेगा तो ये रेस्ट में आ जाएगा. रेस्ट में आ जाएगा मतलब क्या है, द वेलोसिटी ड्रॉप्स डाउन टू 0 एट दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट. मतलब ये देखो 0 पे आ गया है वेलोसिटी 6 सेकेंड पे. देन अगेन एट 6 सेकेंड इट रिवर्सेस द डायरेक्शन एंड कम्स बैक टू द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. मतलब क्या है, इट रिवर्सेस द डायरेक्शन. तो जब ग्राफिकली हम लोग जब प्लॉट करेंगे, देन it will be in the negative half, velocity will be in the negative half because it has reversed the direction. तो reversed the direction मतलब नेगेटिव एक्सिस पे होगा. तो माइनस, देखो यहाँ 0 से इसने 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड, मतलब माइनस 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड नेगेटिव वेलोसिटी पकड़ा है. देन एट from 6 seconds till 12 seconds it is moving with a uniform velocity. Okay, so for 12 seconds, so again we get a line that is parallel to the time axis. तो ये है इसका entire graph. पहले 10 सेकेंड से 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड टिल 6 सेकेंड पे ट्रेवल किया है यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी, देन इट हिट्स द वॉल, its velocity drops down to 0. Then after it drops down to 0, the ball reverses its direction, means negative half of the negative part of the graph we will take, that is minus 10 meter per second. So the ball picks up the velocity, increases the velocity till minus 10 meter per second, and from here again the ball travels with a uniform velocity for 12 seconds, means for another 6 seconds. ठीक है, क्लियर है. नाउ यू आर आस्क्ड टू फाइंड आउट द डिस्टेंस. तो डिस्टेंस क्या है? टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड, वी नो पाथ लेंथ. तो पाथ लेंथ मतलब ये देखो यहाँ पे मैंने प्लॉट नहीं किया है. अलोंग वाई एक्सिस वेलोसिटी इज बीइंग प्लॉटेड एंड अलोंग एक्स एक्सिस टाइम इज बीइंग प्लॉटेड. तो यहाँ से हम लोग डिस्टेंस निकाल सकते हैं. डिस्टेंस इज स्पीड इनटू टाइम. मतलब क्या है? ये वाला पार्ट अगर कंसिडर करोगे तो ये दिस इज अ ट्राइंगल, सॉरी रेक्टेंगल. सो 10 into 6 will give us the distance as 60 मीटर. ओके, तो 60 मीटर मतलब टोटल डिस्टेंस ये 60 मीटर, यहाँ पे 60 मीटर, तो टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड इज 60 मीटर प्लस 60 मीटर 120 मीटर. क्योंकि डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड इज पाथ लेंथ, it is irrespective of the direction, right, distance. So total path length is 120 meter. अब अगर डिस्प्लेसमेंट पूछता है तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज इनिशियल पोजीशन, डिफरेंस बिटवीन फाइनल पोजीशन एंड इनिशियल पोजीशन. तो देखो बॉल क्या हुआ है? बॉल वॉल पे हिट किया है एक्स पोजीशन से, अगेन इट comes back to its original position, right? So initial position is equal to the final position, so the net displacement is 0 over. Question number 12 is, the figure shows the velocity time graph of a particle moving in a straight line. Number 1, state the nature of motion of the particle. Second, find the displacement of particle at t equal to 6 seconds. Third is, does the particle change its direction of motion? Fourth is, compare the distance travelled by the particle from 0 to 4 seconds and from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. And the fifth is, find the acceleration from 0 to 4 seconds and retardation from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. तो first है, state the nature of motion of the particle. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे देखो ये वाला from 0 to 4 seconds velocity is increasing with time, right? So we get a straight line and with a positive slope. Okay, and from 4 seconds to 6 seconds we also get a straight line, but here velocity is decreasing with time, so thus we get a negative slope. Okay, so from 0 to 4 seconds we get uniform accelerated motion, and from 4 seconds to 6 seconds we get uniform retarded motion. Uniform क्यों? क्योंकि straight line है, राइट, स्ट्रेट लाइन है. एंड एक्सलरेटेड यहाँ पे क्योंकि इट इज इंक्रीजिंग विथ टाइम, पॉजिटिव स्लोप. एंड यहाँ पे रिटार्डेड क्यों? क्योंकि नेगेटिव स्लोप है. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज फाइंड द डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ पार्टिकल एट t इक्वल टू 6 सेकेंड. तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑब्वियसली वी कैन फाइंड आउट बाय द एरिया ऑफ द ट्राइंगल, राइट. सो डिस्प्लेसमेंट एट t इक्वल टू 6 सेकेंड इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ द ट्राइंगल. सो हाफ बेस है 6, राइट, from 0 to 6 and height है 2. So we get the displacement at t equal to 6 seconds as 6 meter. Third is, does the particle change its direction of motion? तो खुद ही बताओ क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. 0 to 2 meter per second पे आया है. Okay, it is increasing. Then from 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड पे 0 अगेन 0 पे आ रहा है फ्रॉम 4 सेकेंड टू 6 सेकेंड. तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? एक्सेलरेशन हो रहा है, यहाँ पे रिटार्डेशन हो रहा है. बट एंड इट इज फाउंड दैट द ग्राफ इज अलोंग द पॉजिटिव पार्ट ऑफ द एक्सिस. नेगेटिव पार्ट पे कुछ है ही नहीं. तो नेगेटिव पार्ट पे नहीं है मतलब द particle is moving along the same direction but with variable velocity along the time frame. Okay, so here no, the particle does not change its direction as it is only on the positive part of the axis. And the fourth is, compare the distance travelled by the particle from 0 to 4 second and from 4 second to 6 second. So distance travelled from 0 to 4 second क्या है, ये वाला होगा। तो यहाँ पे तुम्हारा this is the area of the triangle. So base is 4 and height is 2. So distance travelled is 4 meter, and from the distance travel from 4 second to 6 second क्या होगा, half into this part, this area if we find out. So 6 minus 4 is the time and 2 is the height. So 2 meter is the distance travel from 4 second to 6 second. So ratio of distance travel from 0 to 4 second by ratio of distance travel from 4 second to 6 second is 2:1. So thus we can compare the two quantities. Okay. Next is find the acceleration from 0 to 4 second and retardation from 4 second to 6 second. तो बहुत easy है, acceleration slope निकालो। तो 0 to 4 second पे acceleration हो रहा है vertical height by horizontal distance. So vertical height is 2, horizontal distance is 4. So 2 by 4, that is 0.5 meter per second square. And retardation from 4 second to 6 second, again vertical height by horizontal distance. So vertical height है 2 and horizontal distance 6 minus 4, that is minus 1 meter per second square is the retardation. Thus we come to the end of this entire video series जहाँ पे हम लोगों ने theoretical part of displacement time graph, velocity time graph and acceleration time graph बहुत डिटेल में डिस्कस किया है and numericals भी सॉल्व किया है। तो ये पूरा वीडियो सीरीज अगर थोड़ा सा भी अच्छा लगा है, कुछ अगर फीडबैक देना चाहते हो related to these videos, so you are welcome, and please support us by subscribing this channel, liking all the videos and sharing those videos. So thank you so much. Bye bye.